What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today, we'll be taking a look at all these transits this month in November leading up to this Mercury retrograde. There's a lot going on, so let's get into it. All right, party people. Once again, welcome to November. I hope everyone is enjoying Scorpio season. There's a lot of movement to start this month off. And a lot of it is going to culminate in the start of this Mercury retrograde cycle. But there's a few things regarding this energy that I want to make you aware of. So what I want to do before we get into this video, do me a favor, like this video, drop a comment, and hype it up if you can. And there's another thing that I want to say. I want to say thank you to all of you who support me and my services. I feel moved to have to express this right now. I typically have to do this like once a year. And if you've been here with me, you've heard it before. But Gemini Brown, I really feel like I make getting readings really simple. I feel like I make them really simple. It's actually like a really simple process. And I offer a multitude of options. And I just want to say that I think with my readings, it exposes a couple of things if you're coming to me for a reading. The first thing you got to understand, I say this respectfully, I'm a mercurial master and I'm a real life educator. I deal with communication. So I think the first thing you got to know, if you come to me for a reading, I'm going to ask you to articulate in whatever way it is, how can I help you with this reading? What moved you to want to get this reading from me? I'm going to continue to reiterate, this is not, hey, Gemini, I was born such and such at this time. Tell me what you see. No, those days are gone. And I have a plethora of videos on here that showcase that part. A reading can be really helpful when you know what it is that you're trying to understand. And I'm a translator, an excellent one. I really feel the chart and understand the alignment that it wants to be in to thrive in the manner in which it needs to thrive. The next thing that I believe getting a reading from me exposes is whether or not you're an open person. Because many of you see me on this channel. I share things about my family. I share things about myself because revealing is healing, right? And I'm a person and we all got a family. We all got, a background and all of that. So when you come to me, if you're unwilling to want to dispose little information that could enhance your reading, I don't think I'm like the person for you. And to be real, I think it shows distrust. So anyone out there watching right now that has received a reading from me, whether in person or a pre-recorded one, please drop a comment and let others know how simple of a process it was and the approach that you may have taken. I just want to let that be known. Okay. And then, with that said, if you have never reached out to me, if you're unable to show me who you are via your inquiry, I won't be able to read your chart. That's just a part of my boundary. So I just wanted to, express that. And then one more thing. I think with astrology, when you really pay attention, you can gain a real understanding of so many things regarding your experience energetically with places or people. But one of the things I really enjoy about this job is that from this seat, I get to interact with those from all over the grid, whether that be in my own country and other countries. And I got to tell you, for the most part, y'all, I do very well with everyone. However, in my travels, if a person is from Los Angeles, I don't know, something about how they approach me never seems to really go right. Also, just for context, I'm someone who's lived in Northern California for a little bit. I've lived in the Bay Area, I've lived in Sacramento, and yeah, there is a night and day between Northern California and Southern California. But specifically, when someone reaches out to me from LA, they are just not my kind of person, okay? But anyway, getting on to the astrology. This month, we got a lot going on. So we got Mercury that is here in the sign of Sagittarius, and it's going to be going retrograde in a couple of days. We got Mars, who's just come out of his own transit or own sign of Scorpio and is now in Sagittarius. Uranus, the planet of liberation, freedom, retrograding back to the 29th degree of Taurus. Major movements. We got Neptune at the 29th degree. We got Saturn all the way back here in Pisces in harmony with Jupiter. So one of the first transits this month you're going to want to pay attention to is Venus in Scorpio. Now, Venus in Scorpio is going to come in making a square to Pluto. I believe coming off of Mars and Mercury have been in Scorpio, there can be subtle tensions that have been arising in particular partnerships that could be coming to a head. And I'm going to be quite frank with y'all. I think that this is going to be a trend in which you have to watch or ask yourself, is this person trying to manipulate me? Are they trying to bend the situation in their favor, persuade me of what I already know? I think people refer to that as like gaslighting. It's one of those times. Now, keep in mind, once Venus goes into Scorpio, the moon is going to come in and trine it. So this is enhancing your intuition. So if something feels manipulative, it more than likely is. Or if you had a feeling someone was going to approach something in a particular type of way, just honor what is being shown to you. One of the ways to do that is to tighten up your emotional reactions to things. Okay? So Neptune at the 29th degree in Pisces is testing our boundary integration. How great are our boundaries? This also coincides with what the Saturn in Pisces transit has been trying to show you, right? Like, where are you overextending? Where are you, let's say, leaking energy or giving too much? Okay, where that can be avoided by simply enacting stronger boundaries. Going forward, don't feel bad about saying no, doing what works in your favor, even if it goes against what another may need of you in that moment. A lot of this, like I said, is about honoring boundary lessons, okay? And sometimes you got to just be like, I can't do it. Because overextending for a particular type of person can be a form of self-sabotage. And we all know that Venus and Scorpio is like, I feel deeply, so I want to express that through my actions. But rather than put that energy on another, make sure you're giving it to yourself first and foremost. All right. So then we're going to get to Jupiter stationing to also go retrograde. This is big. All right. This is big. And we got Jupiter currently in harmony with Saturn. So the way I see this is that if you've been experiencing emotional relief as of late, you got to ask yourself, what have I subtracted? What boundaries, again, have I put in place? And what expansion is that leading to? Jupiter retrograde wants you to continuously expand upon that wisdom right there, but it wants you to approach it from the internal level. So this is a period in which you're going to have to consistently remind yourself not to fall into old habits, or rather remind yourself that, like, dang, I know what this entails, right? Even if you feel the pull there. So Jupiter retrograde is really going to be a test of applying your wisdom over your will, per se. All right. And then we get to Mercury retrograde. It's going to start here in Sagittarius and go back into Scorpio. Along the way, it's going to meet up with Mars here. Now, what I want to say with this is kind of similar to the Pluto square with Venus. you're going to have to just know what you know, right? There are going to be things that you perceive during this time, right? And it could be a multitude of things because we all have different scenarios. But the best thing you can do during this retrograde is to acknowledge the truth that you feel or the truth that is being presented to you. And one of those difficult ones, I'm going to use this as an example, is having to acknowledge that a loved one, this could be a family member, this can be a best friend, that they may be sabotaging you. They may not have your best interests at heart, or they may be threatened by your growth. Or going back to that idea of Jupiter and Saturn, they can be the person trying to tempt you back into old ways of being. Of course, it relies on you to exercise your own will, but you're going to have to really observe, like, dang, why is this person displaying this type of energy when A, they may know the changes in which I'm trying to make. Now, part of that truth here, going back with Scorpio energy, is that it's a psychological battle out here. And the more we go into this future with Pluto and Aquarius, the more we're going to see the polarity point regarding Leo come out into the open, that those who haven't really anchored a steady ego are going to naturally alienate themselves from the group because of egoistic behavior and other low vibrational, things such as jealousy, envy, all of that. Mercury, Mars, when they meet again, this is your strategy against the negativity. Now, mind you, your strategy could be just to stay focused on your particular path, your studies, whatever it is that you're committed to. But I'm going to remind you again, we want to be mindful of what we give energy to, even if it's in a particular negative sense or defending ourselves. Don't argue too much. Say less. Let your actions do the talking for you. Mars and Mercury, whatever changes you're implementing, they're going to be shown through actions, not arguments or over explaining. Okay. So I also think this can be Mercury retrograde where exes and old particular people also come back as well. As I said before, I think it's going to be hard to ignore the misalignment of particular partnerships. So the more you can honor what it is that you feel or you see and enforce a boundary, the more the energy is aligning for you. And you're going to feel a sense of pride or selfhood by enacting those boundaries. Sometimes you got to say no, man. It's one of those things you learn in life. We can't make everyone happy. And even if you try to, you're still not going to be able to. So you might as well do what it is that's best for you at particular times. Starting off November with a bang. Oh yeah, shout out to all the Scorpio celebrating birthdays this week. Pay close attention to this energy as it'll be with you all year long. If you need a reading, holla at me. Go to my website, GeminiBrown.com. Check out my books, Astrology of the Matrix, the Venus Codes. So next time.
Yeah. This is what we do. God levels. Year of the 9. Watch me shine, pass me the Rello. Deep in my prime, it's the 1-5 mellow. Call the wake up call it hello. Getting better, this my letter to the ghetto. Budget's getting bummed, life is like boot camp. Blame it on Trump, they done took away food stamps. Teams is all schemes, just read the newsstand. Dreams get achieved by believing that you can. Still looking at my path, came a long way. Times was pissy, we had laughs in the hallway. Took a turn in math, look what the gods say. To learn to win, draft kings got a parlay. They know I came for the goods, never tussle fam. Nalo the name, the hood is where I hustle, man. You know the motto, get bread, get dough. Ether through your window, brother man, the 5th flow. Nalo.
That's another 9 ether shit, man. Yeah. It's for like a 2-piece tuxedo type of night. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta understand the ghetto was made us be aligned. If you use the ghetto the right way, it'd be heaven.